Kalau wifi
macam slow.
tapi live ni
Tak guna. Ada boleh kan?
boleh.
So yang dia kumpulan lagi ada ni.
Kita doktor record je. Akan live.
Dengan identifier basis.
Dah.
Dua je. Verify boleh. Betul tak?
Macam ni lah.
Betul lah. Yang dua.
Macam mirip image. Tapi sini tak. Oh ni tak. Tak kalau ada in the computer. Tak ada.
Macam mana? Tak ada.
Tak ada converter. Kalau nak cucuk line tak boleh converter.
Kalau guna
Tapi ni okey ni okey. Tapi semua kalau boleh set laptop masa boleh. Ini je.
Pakai itu kan?
Tapi kalau maksudnya nak bagi ini yang protector yang protector.
Kalau ramai orang
Tak ini je lah. Ini untuk live je ni. Satu je so live je.
So scan tahulah universiti mana?
Tak keluar. Tak keluar kan? Belum lagi. Tahu. So aku apa dah masuk. Ni aku kita pakai line. Dah jadi.
Kita ada senarai tu. Kita ada senarai jawatan bahasa Indok kan?
Ada?
Nanti berikan kedua. Montaj bila tu? Kalau cuba robot tu
dia hidup kerja saya dah baca. Okey dah.
Ada dia sikit. Yelah itu lah kita nak buat yang kita tambah semua tu
Memang tak nampak lah. Siapa-siapa nak sampai ni jelas sebut tak. Yelah, sini yang tak nampak lah. Kena mic lah. Sebab ni apps. Dia boleh guna sana.
Boleh guna mikrofon, boleh guna.
Tak tolong kena sebut. Memang dia tadi besar kan? Dia tadi besar kan? Kena sebut kan? Ke berita dia dakwah? Nak fokus ke mana dah semua. Kalau just bagi macam nombor je.
Tapi kan ini ada sana.
Sana untuk table lah.
Tapi sini orang boleh verify.
Dia dekatkan.
Tak, orang sini boleh nampak. Tapi sambil kita bercakap ni.
Maksudnya orang sini pun tak nampak skrin.
Yelah sini tu cakap lah. Yang penting orang dekat dia cakap. Orang depan dia nampak. Sebut. Seorang sebut lah.
Atau ini nak.
Minta orang sama-sama duduk depan to verify.
Masalah dia tinggal.
So ni tengok ni orang tak nampak.
Memang takkan nampak.
Dekat kalau live. Oh ini dalam
Ni
apa?
apps lah. Ni mira.
Tak boleh site dia. Phone pun tak boleh.
Tak boleh. Dah sendiri kan. Tak ubah. Tak boleh.
Saya nak sini. Nak sini tak boleh.
Sebut je. Yang dia.
Tapi kan idenya webcam tu yang benar. Display isu semua yang ada gambar.
Imran.
Kalau dekat ini kan zoom ni, kalau dekatkan ni.
Ini bukan live.
Bukan yang ini, yang ini.
Closekan to the people.
Yang ini.
Dan tak boleh light. Tak, ini baru TV-nya.
Dia slide.
Ke Dr. Zaid nak bagi ucapan dulu sikit? Boleh? Kita start dengan Dr. Zaid.
Cuba juga tengok yang live ni. Ni. Delay sikit. Terus lanjut.
Okay, I think if you can look at the people,
Okay apa?
tak ada. Nak tengok screen. Imran, dia tengok screen. Tengok screen tak? Screen. Screen ni tu. Kau boleh baca ni Imran. Ada sini tunjuk orang yang ambil. Betul lah. We have to be here then.
Betul kamera tu just record.
Itu yang itu just record. That's right.
Bright. Nampak. Bright. It's still bright kan, tak nampak kan?
Tutup lampu ni.
Tak, dia punya ni.
Dia bright, dia tak
Sebab
bright.
Kalau tutup lampu ni,
dia bright daripada screen display.
boleh naikkan dia punya kontras.
Kalau zoom lagi.
Kita ada kontras.
Kalau zoom lagi dia okey kot. Dia kan lagi. Bawah. Tengok. Dia lambat sikit. Balik.
Nampak?
Nampak kan?
Nampak. So you have to remember macam ni. You have to remember this and you have to switch to mendin. Kalau saya dekat sini. Mana? Cuba.
Apa? Nak kena gerak kan? Tak.
Masuk orang sekali. Belakang.
Oh, dia nak kena ambil cepat. Orang tak buat.
Saya tak ada orang. Saya tak faham. Apa keadaan?
Orang tak buat.
Yang important tu number tu yang
Tak, nombor kita akan capai sekali.
kena
Belakang tu akan keluar jalan.
Nampak semua, nampak orang.
Nampak orang sekali. Dia cakap dulu nampak.
Pegang.
tak nampak ini number
Ya, dah silakan baca.
Kita baca kan.
Kamu suruh peserta baca.
Peserta baca
Tu
dekat.
kita buat kat sini.
Peserta baca.
Peserta baca.
ada
Saya baca.
Alright,
Macam tadi lah.
balik kat sini. Peserta mikrofon bawa ke sana.
Itulah. Kak Tia masuk tengah ambil gambar.
Puan Irina.
Puan Irina.
Ya, yes, sorry.
Kita start dengan dia. Kerja di sini.
Tak tahu.
Alright, set. Okay, good enough.
Okey.
Atas sikit. Atas sikit.
Boleh. Oh, nak dari sana? Boleh juga.
Belakang sikit.
Belakang sikit.
This one untuk cabut dalam grouping. Recording. Bagi yang tak dapat datang tengoklah.
Alright, cantik.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and salam sejahtera semua. Terima kasih kepada semua pasukan yang hadir pada sesi taklimat teknikal ketiga dan sesi balloting untuk Robocon Malaysia 2019. Okay, untuk memulakan majlis, saya ingin menjemput Dr. Zaid, pengarah bahagian pembangunan mahasiswa JPT untuk memberikan sepatah dua kata.
Terima kasih Dr. Yasir. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera dan selamat datanglah saya ucapkan. Welcome to all to our officers di bahagian pembangunan mahasiswa Kementerian Pendidikan Malaysia. Saya Dr. Zaid Omar, pengarah di bahagian pembangunan mahasiswa. And our office looks after all student extracurricular activities, activism, welfare and affairs in all universities di Malaysia. Kami bekerjasama dengan universiti-universiti untuk sama-sama kita laksanakan dan kita develop and devise programs, initiatives, policies yang memanfaatkan dan membangkitkan mahasiswa di negara kita lah. Dan antaranya of course adalah pertandingan Robocon yang kami anjurkan setiap tahun. Robocon is part of an initiative, kalau kita boleh kategorikan, it's part of the science and technology lah, the STEM initiatives of pejabat kami. That's not all we do. We also do a bit of debates and leadership, kepimpinan, sasya, volunteerism and so on. But I have to say that coming into this office, saya pun baru kat sini, just a few months. Coming into this office, I have made it my mission to actually inculcate a lot of the science and technology punya elements into BBMS. So Robocon and all the program-program berteraskan STEM tu, saya akan fully support. This is because I myself am also an engineer by training. Saya pensyarah di UTM and my field is artificial intelligence and computer vision. So kalau robot you all tu ada kamera yang boleh detect objects and so on tu, that's pretty much my kenalah dengan bidang saya. So anyway, I also have a personal affinity, personal connection with Robocon. I was a Robocon pengiring Robocon for team UTM way back in 2007. Siapa ada waktu tu, we competed in UKM. We were the host that time and we became champions. Nombor 1 dan nombor 2. Okay. But anyway, I am this time in this office. I have to be very impartial. So saya sokong semua team. What I hope is for a good competition and science and technology wins in the end. So saya difahamkan hari ini adalah sesi untuk kita balloting to choose our opponents and our rounds and so on. Terima kasih saya ucapkan kepada Dr. Yassin and all his team from UIA yang telah bertugas lumus and also my officers from BBMS yang telah bekerja keras hard at work to make this happen. Saya personally mohon maaf lah kalau tak dapat turun padang sekerap that I want, but rest assured that you have my full support and my full kerjasama moving forward with Robocon. It is something that is very close to my heart and I would like to see this thing getting even bigger in the future kalau boleh, insyaAllah. So selamat berballoting, selamat berprogram, selamat bertanding. InsyaAllah we'll see you in Unit 10 next week. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, terima kasih Dr. Zaid for the opening remarks. Okay, so today we're going to basically everyone is here for the balloting, but before we start the balloting, okay, there's a few things, a few technical points to be shared together. Okay, I have to basically brief you guys a few important things about Robocon Malaysia 2019. Okay, first one is video check. Okay, video check submission is compulsory. The deadline is 31st of March 2019. Again, this is very important because the referee, the whole team of the referee are going to look at your video. We'll basically look at your mechanisms. Okay, if there's something wrong, we will let you know early. Okay, so that you can basically fix and improvise. Okay, so it is a compulsory submission. Okay, by 31st March. Okay, the format for the video is basically 1 minute long video, about 30 seconds to show us your throwing mechanism, and another 30 seconds to show us your walking mechanism. Okay, from there we will basically tell you whether it's okay or not okay. Okay, if we don't say anything to you, that means it's okay. We contacted you later, that means there's something wrong with your mechanism, you have to fix. Okay, and this will be basically evaluated by all the referees. If when you come on if you didn't submit this and you come on the test run day, there's something wrong with your mechanism, then it'll be like too late. Okay, so we make this compulsory. 31st, just submit whatever design that you have. It does not have to be your final design. Okay, you might change that within that a few days that you have. But you have to submit that. If the final design is different from the video that you submit, you have to declare that during the test time registration. Okay. So other mechanisms, we won't be looking at that through video check, but you have to comply to the rules. Okay. So because other mechanisms are not that complex, so we don't have to basically check that through the video. But again, it is important you comply with the rules. Next is technical report. Again, technical reports is also important. Again, we want to compile a book for Robocon this year. So everyone have to submit their technical report. Okay, the deadline similar to video check is 31st March by 12 midnight. And then the final submission, after you have submitted the first draft, on the 31st March, we will basically review your submission, and then we'll contact you back for like a revision so that we can compile the document properly into a book. Okay, the template has been shared in the website. Okay, if you didn't submit the report, okay, this report is very important for us. If you don't submit, you will not win the special awards. Okay, special awards will be evaluated through your report, and then you might not receive any certificate. Okay, the winners, if you win, you might not receive any certificate, and then the deposit will not be returned if you didn't submit this technical report. Okay, again, just important highlights. The report can be written in Bahasa Melayu, but the abstract must be in English. Okay, you can write full English, no problem, or you can choose to write the content in Malay. Right? Maximum is 10 pages. Don't write too much, because I know everyone love writing. Yeah. So don't write too much. Maximum 10 pages. Minimum 5. Okay, the content as in the template. Okay, this one is introduction, detail design. Okay, the detail design should tell us about your mechanical design, your electronic design, and your software design. Okay, and then chapter 3 is about your presentation of data, some testing that you have done. Okay, your simulations or whatever. And then chapter 4 is conclusion, and then acknowledgement and references if you have any. Okay, next information. Okay, this we were asked about this many times by many institutions. Okay, this year you can apply for extra certificates. We know to build the robots, we will need more than like 6 students. We'll need more students, and we want to be fair to all the students. So this year, all institutions you can apply. You can request for additional certificates. Okay, but to request for these additional certificates. We need the signature of your, not dean, okay, we need your PNC PEPA, Timbalan Chancellor Hal Ehwal Pelajar. You have to sign the letter saying that, okay, these are the students that really participate. We don't want you just put in like 100 names. Okay, put like reasonable numbers. Okay, we know you don't really need like 100 students. Okay, so if it's too much, we will come and probably investigate your list. Okay, so please be honest in requesting the certificates. Okay, and there will be charged imposed per certificates, which is 5 ringgit per certificate. Okay, so it's 5 ringgit per certificate. The extra certificate, the 7 certificates that you'll get for free, but this extra certificates is 5 ringgit per certificate. So don't apply for too much. Don't request for too much extra. Okay, next is the legged robots. Okay, everyone, this year you will be building a legged robots, right? So for those teams that does not qualify into the elimination round and that was eliminated in the first round of the elimination round, yeah, that means if you win your group and then goes into the first elimination round and you lose there, okay, or you didn't get into elimination round at all, you have a chance to win another prize. Okay, we will have like a drag race of all the legged robots. Okay, we're going to like have a race of that legged robots. Again, and winner for this, okay, we'll have first, second, and third place winner, and you will all get the prizes and certificates during the closing ceremony. Okay, so we have this side events, okay, which basically could be useful for you guys as well. Yeah, you'll get certificates. Okay, and then official team photo during the test run day. Okay, the official team photo will be taken after your test run. Okay, once you get out from the field after the test run, okay, there will be like professional photographer to take your team photo. So please come to the test run with a proper attire, probably with your team's uniform. Okay, nicely, so that you can get like nice official photo of your team. Okay, and test run, just to remind everyone, test run is compulsory. If you cannot, the referee agrees that if you cannot come for test run, they will somehow push you to do test runs. Okay, so test run is compulsory. Please come to do the test run, because during test run, the referees will investigate and check your mechanisms again. After the video check, we'll check again and see how your robot really works on the field. Okay, during that time, we will basically give more input. Hopefully, you can do some final adjustment after the test run. Okay, this is the flow or jadual pertandingan during the actual event, Robocon event. Okay, on the 4th we will have the test run, and then on the 5th, on the 4th, before you do your test run, okay, you will do another balloting, okay, to determine where your pit area is. Okay, because the pit area is all around the venue. So you might get one far away from the entrance, one closer to the entrance. Okay, so this all depends on how you do the balloting. Okay, depends on all the balloting. So 4th, important for you to determine your pit area and to do test run. And then on the 5th, we will basically the final event starts. Okay, in the morning you have your pendaftaran. And then after that, we will have the grouping round, the whole day grouping round. Okay, you play according to your groups, or according to your match schedule all day. And this continues to the next day, which is on the 6th April, where you will have, where we will finish the grouping round. Okay, and then afternoon, we will have the first elimination round. Okay, and then on the 7th April, we will have the quarter-final, and then the semi-final, and then we will have the final during the closing ceremony, okay, witnessed by the VVIPs. And if we have time, like last year, we will also slot in the 3rd and 4th placing. Okay, even though we don't have the 3rd and 4th placing because both teams are third place, okay, but we'll have like match between the 3rd places. Okay, just like a teaser match. And then on Sunday, the event ended around lunchtime, okay, 1 p.m. Okay, so that's roughly the flow of the program. After this, you will get to know when is your match time and everything after the balloting. And also, we have we were told by RPM, okay, the winner for Robocon Malaysia 2019 will be interviewed by RTM in their Selamat Pagi Malaysia show, which is on the next day. Okay, so if you win, please plan for your travels and accommodation accordingly. Okay, you win. Okay, and then this is very, very important. Okay, after the meeting with all the referees last few weeks, we have made some corrections. We have reviewed some of the rules. Okay, and we have made very important and very significant changes to the rules, which is rules 1.6.5. Okay, when in rules 1.6.5, it says that when your legged robot, okay, your MR2 goes into the mountain ortho, right? Mountain ortho, and the referee gives you point for successfully going into mountain ortho. Okay, when the referee lifts up the flag, okay, the team can come in and set up the MR2. Okay, well, this happened, okay, before this in the rules we say MR1 cannot enter, okay, MR1 cannot enter, but after reviewing the what happened in the competition in Vietnam and Mongolia, we revised this. Okay, while you are setting up your MR2, MR1 can enter the throwing zone to throw the shagais. Okay, I mean while you're setting up MR2, MR1 can do its throwing. Okay, you don't have to wait until you finish setting up MR2 for MR1 to come in. Okay, the signal that referee gives when you score points at when MR2 goes into the mountain ortho is a signal for MR1 to come in. Okay, and the outside team to come in to set MR2, to reposition MR2. Okay, so you can you can strategize on who will set the MR2 and who will control MR1 to do the throwing. Okay, right? So this is very important. You don't have to, MR1 don't have to wait for your players to go out to come in. Okay, MR1 can move while those setting up MR2. Okay, and also this affects similar rules, which is rules 1.7.2. Okay, once MR2 successfully reach mountain or 2 with referee's permission, okay, because the signal to score points is basically a permission signal for you to come in. And this is also a signal for MR1 to come in. So we revise this. Okay, so you don't have to wait after the team finish setting up. Okay, while setting up MR2, okay, MR1 can enter throwing zone and throw shotguns. Okay, similar rules. All right. Next is retrying of MR2. We receive a lot of questions on how you retry MR2. Okay, when your MR2 moves, okay, if you want to retry, please shout to the referee. Okay, raise your hand, tell the referee that you want to come in to stop your MR2, whatever, your robots. You can come in, put the MR2 behind the lines or inside the UR2 if it's not past any lines. And to start the MR2, similar rules for starting MR2 at the mountain UR2 applies. Okay, you cannot touch for the MR2 moves. Okay, so you can give signals without any physical contact and without any additional transmitters. No, like IR signals or Wi-Fi signals. Okay, so you can like wave a proximity sensor to sense your hand and the robot moves. Okay, but you have to do this while you are outside. So while retrying, okay, it is impossible for you to be outside and then give signals to retry, right? So what you can do is to set a delay. Okay, you can press a button, leave the field, and then let the robot move. After you have left the field, okay, you have to really make sure that your delay is long enough so that the player can run outside before your MR2 starts moving. If MR2 starts before your player is outside, then the referee could call for violation and you have to retry again. Okay, so you have to make sure you give not too long. Okay, too long will waste your running time. Okay, optimal time. Okay, so that you can give delay for you to run out and your MR2 moves. Okay, if you touch and your MR2 moves and you're still inside, we will call for violation. Okay, so this is very important. All right, so it's non-contact. Okay, you can give non-contact signal from outside, or you can ask operator 1 because operator 1 can be in throwing zone, right? So he can actually signal your MR2 without, because the operator don't have to go outside. So operator can give a signal, non-contact signal to the robots, and then it moves. Or you can give a delay, and then those who setting up the MR2 can go out and MR2 moves. Okay. Right. Next is another very popular question is about MR2 feed. We received some videos shared by a few institutions. I think videos by Vietnam teams as well as some Mongolian teams. They design robots with a very long feet. The feet is very long. Okay, and if we follow the rules, okay, there's no restriction on how long or how big your feet, the feet for the robot is. Okay, you can have very long feet robot or very wide feet robots with multiple touch points. Okay, if you have like leg with 4 touch points, that would consider 1 feet. Okay, no problem. Okay, I can show you this video, but no internet connection. No internet connection. Just to give you Okay, this is a documentary video by the Mongolian organizer. We jump to 14. Okay. 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 This robot, you see, there's a very long feet, with two touch points. Yeah, that's considered one feet. Okay, so you can have that, no issue. Right? Because we receive, I think like 5 teams asking whether that design is okay or not. So we just want to make clear to everybody, you can have like long feet. Okay. And next is definition for opponent's game field. Oh, sorry. Okay. Opponent game field. I think the slides was not updated. Okay. How we define the referee when we meet? Okay. How do you actually define? Oh, my okay.
I have to get going, but please do continue.
Okay, what does it mean by opponent's game field or opponent's field? Okay, in the rules, we mentioned in several places, opponent's game field, opponent's field. If your robot enters the opponent's game field, if your robot enters the opponent's field, if the Shagai lands in opponent's field. Okay, 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 opponent's game field means, okay, this center line dividing your field, okay, the center line dividing the field is the sides, okay, which is not your sides, is opponent's game field. Okay, if you throw Shagai and lands into here, even it's outside the game field, outside the actual field, but lands on the sides of your opponent, okay, we consider that a disqualification. Okay, you cannot throw Shagai to your opponent's side. Okay, so we will be very strict on the sides. You cannot, your robot cannot cross this, okay, this opponent's side. Your Shagai cannot land on the opponent's side. Okay, opponent's game field, opponent's field means the opponent's side. Okay, you are not allowed, the player are not allowed to enter opponent's side. Your robots are not allowed to enter opponent's sides, and your Shagais are not allowed to land into opponent's sides. Shagais and Gerege. Okay, if your Gerege falls into opponent's sides, that would be considered going into opponent's sides. Okay, so yeah, things that referee thinks might happen is your MR2. Okay, when MR2 climbs, okay, when MR2 climbs the ramp, okay, if you don't stop your MR2, it might cross over. It might cross over to the opponent's field, and that's disqualification. So be very careful on how you design your climbing. Okay, make sure it stops on top, does not cross over. If it cross over, disqualification. Okay. So just to highlight that, very important things that might basically cause you trouble during the competition day. Okay, I think those are some of the important things that need to be highlighted. We also received some question whether you can walk along the gray area. No one can enter the gray area. Okay, no one can walk along this gray area separating the blue and red field. Okay, so you have to come from your side. You cannot walk along that gray. That gray area is a gray area. No one can enter. Okay. And before we do the balloting, again, I'd like to open the floor for, again, another question and answer. If you send us an FAQ and we didn't respond, or probably you didn't get it, you can ask again now before we do our balloting. Any questions about the game rules, especially?
There's a question on the test run if you didn't come on the form. When they have to do it? They have to do it in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether everyone of you have watched the new video that released by Lahul that their legs is indeed rotating. It is a rotational joint, and then they have sort of like a two points contact on the ground. So what it does is like it is rotating like this. Yeah, that is a new video released by Lahul.
Yeah.
Whether or not that is like
We
how do you
have
consider that?
discussed that. Okay, we have discussed that because the initial link is the one rotated. Okay, the second link is the one that make contacts with the ground. Even though it's basically rotated like a circular motion, but it's somehow the referee says that's okay. Okay, because that's the second link, not the link in directly connected to the motor. Okay, it's a second link that rotates.
Okay.
So we'll accept that. That's the video that I show you. Exactly what you are saying. Exactly what Lapang is doing. They have like a motor, okay, driving one link, and that link connected to another link which touches the ground. Right? So the second link is the one that creates the movement and touches the ground. So we accept that. Okay. Yes.
In the previous briefing, you mentioned that you will define later what is the damage that can get to the Shagai, which will disqualify the team. So,
Okay, yeah, we did discuss on that. Okay, damage to the Shagai means you poke the Shagai, you purposely poke the Shagai, or you press the Shagai until there's like pressures that press the Shagai. But damage on paintwork is not considered damage.
so after drawing, whatever happened to the Shagai.
After drawing, it doesn't matter. After drawing, it might break into two. That's not your fault. If the damage happens when you are gripping, that's why you want to see your gripping mechanism. If the damage happens while you are holding the Shagai, then that's your fault. If it happens after it has landed and everything else, then that's not your fault.
Another question just to make sure, the video that you asked for by the 30th or the 31st of this month, it's for the throwing mechanism for the MR1.
Yeah, to throw.
Or only or also including the walking mechanism for
It's both. Throwing, 30-second video. First half is throwing mechanism. Second half, another 30-second of your walking mechanism. So 1 minute video. Okay? Right.
Getting to the video check and additional certificate, we should do.
Okay, the video check, we will post the link. Huh? Or send an email to the secretary, not the link on website.
Can also, if you want to do that.
Okay, fine, ada link submission for the video. Okay, it's easier. Can we just decide now? Okay, for your video check, please email to the Robocon Malaysia at IIM. Okay, just email to the secretary your video and your letter. Okay, to request for additional certificate, you have to bring that letter during the test run day. You have to bring hard copy of the letter during test run day. Okay, and then we will settle all the payments. No need to email. You can email earlier if you want, but you can just bring the hard copy, the original copy of the letter during the test run day. Yeah.
Submission?
Ada submission link. Okay, and your report, okay, we will provide a link on the website for you to upload your report. Okay, so video by email, report upload to our website, and the letter to request for additional certificate bring on the test run day. Right? Yes. Dekat landing zone. If you throw into the landing zone, then no, landing zone tak ada. Yang the grey area tak ada sites. The grey area is a neutral area. Both can go in. The Shagai can go in. MR2, again, while you're walking your MR2 and you steps into the like grey area, there's a grey area separating the blue and red, right? There's a grey area. If your MR2 steps on the grey area, that's still fine. But if it crosses into the red or blue area, then that's considered violation. That's considered disqualification. Okay, so if you step into the grey area, quickly ask for retry and stop your MR2 before it goes into the other team's side. Shagai you can throw into the throwing area. Throwing zone, landing zone is neutral area. You can throw anything inside. Your robot might go inside without this qualification. We are talking about the green area and the desert area. Okay, if you goes into your opponent's side, then disqualification. Yeah, landing zone is okay. Your Shagai could go anywhere inside landing zone. Helmet we will provide, the vest we will provide. Okay, and yeah, relating to helmet and vest, okay, everyone have to come with socks on, because when you, especially the operator for MR1, okay, you're going into the field, okay, you have to wear your socks, okay, while going into the field. Okay, just to clarify about the grey area and stuff. Okay, the robot might enter this area. Okay, that's a neutral area, no problem. Okay, the Shagai, if Shagai landed into this area, you cannot move that Shagai anymore. Okay, you have to be stays inside. Okay, your robot might step into this gray area. Okay, no disqualification. Okay, but when you step over, okay, if your robot moves into this, then disqualification. Okay, but the referee would like to highlight on this outside the field. Outside the field, okay, if your Shagai goes into this area, okay, into this, past this gray lines, disqualification. Okay, if your robot walk outside and pass this line, disqualification. Okay, basically you're entering opponent side. So this is a buffer zone, which is still a safe zone, but you have to move retry your robot quickly. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Another additional note about the certificate. Okay. The cost to print the extra additional certificate is ringgit each. Okay, and then we will also post this certificate to you. So that's the additional cost. Yeah, additional cost. Okay, so ringgit each plus postage. Okay, because this certificate have to be printed later, because the names are many more, and we'll need times, and then we'll post it. Okay, and then another one is about the compressor, air compressor. Okay, you can bring your own air compressors to the competition area to the competition venue, but you cannot operate your air compressor anywhere. Okay, there's a designated place where you can turn on your air compressor. That means if you want to refill your air tank, you have to bring your robot to a designated area, and then you might want to use your air compressor, or we will provide another air compressor.
There's some safety issues of that.
Yeah.
They should have the oxygen PMT.
Yeah, if you want to bring the air compressors, make sure the air compressors is certified air compressor. Safe. Any other question before we start the balloting? Yes.
About bringing the air compressor to test run.
During test run, yeah, you can bring air compressors during test run, but we will monitor because during test run you will be the only team inside, right? So all the referees will be around you. So yeah, so you can bring air compressors at the site. Yeah.
Which is satisfied.
Yeah, the air compressors must be certified. Right? Your institution must have certificate saying that the air compressor is safe. Right? Yeah, your university. Or you cannot operate, right? You cannot have air compressor in your institution without the certificate, right? So you must have that.
About changing battery during retry.
Yeah, you may change battery during retry.
As well as when reprogram or replacing the MR2.
Yeah, we don't have, we won't restrict because this time, right? You might have a tethered controller. Some teams might have a laptop tethered to the robot. Right? The laptop will be measured as your remote controller, your controller for the robot. Okay, but the team might use this to program your robot. Okay, so there will be no restriction during retry for you to come and reprogram. Okay. Yeah, you can change program during retry. No problem. Change battery and change program. Yes. Okay, but any spare parts that you want to bring in, you have to declare during the robot check. Any spare parts. I mean, extra batteries, or if you think that your rubber parts might wear off during the competition, you might want to replace them. You have to declare during the robot check. Okay, they will all be tagged. If you use untagged spare parts, then you must have the battery tagged before you bring it. Okay? Yeah, in the robot check.
Then the spare part also weight with the robot, right?
Yes, it must be.
But oh,
Mechanism must be.
Yes. Oh, not certified air compressor. If your compressor is not certified, please use our compressor. Yeah, we will provide one compressor.
Some mentioned that the MR2 can walk into the gray zone is not a violation.
Yeah.
About the landing zone.
No, MR2 walks into the gray zone violation, but not disqualification.
Then go to the landing zone, not disqualification.
Yeah, if you go into landing zone, it's a violation. You have to bring it out, but it's not disqualification. Violation means you have to retry. Disqualified means you lose the match. Yeah.
And the climbing the mountain, just now mentioned that if MR2 cross over
yeah.
the opponent zone, is a
disqualification.
About the space of one.
Space over also, yeah. Yeah. So be very careful. You cannot enter the space above the opponent's field as well. Okay?
The garage part can be garage after receiving during retry?
During retry, you can reposition your garage. It must be on the same place where you receive the garage from MR1. If you receive MR1 at this holder, you cannot change garage to different holder. Okay, it must be at the same receiver of MR2. I don't know. Okay.
Last question.
Yeah.
To confirm that during retry, the upper part of the robot must be behind the line.
Yeah, the whole part and the space above, everything must be behind the line or inside the portal. Okay.
So according to the rule 1.3.5.5, the MR2 must carry the aggregate in a way that the uppermost part of the aggregate is lower than the top of MR2 body from the movement of the aggregate until the full zone. So how do you define the MR2 body? Is it if I attach a bar on the MR2 body, so that's the bar consider
Extruding parts. Okay, this is like very difficult to define. Okay, we will look at your how do you define the top part of the MR2? Whether you're above the top part or below.
Top part.
Any extruding
Any extruding component also consider part of
MR2.
as
MR2,
long
right?
as attached to the body.
Pardon?
Yeah, the idea of that rules is basically to make sure that because your maximum height, right? Maximum height for MR2 is 800 mm, right? The maximum height for MR2. Okay, basically the idea is your garage must be lower
Or lower
than 800, but assuming that you have some parts at 800. So if your highest part is 600, then you put it lower than 600. Any highest part of your MR2. Okay, so if you have like extreme parts, and that extreme part cannot exceed 800, so your garage must be lower than that.
Just don't exceed the maximum.
Yeah, the garage must be higher. Any other question before we start balloting? Yes. Yeah, we will bring the present. Okay, today when you're balloting, right? When you pick up the number, you will get your group number, and we already have the timetable for each. So it's random. Okay, you might get F, and you start at 8 in the morning. I don't know. But
The time.
okay, okay. This is the groups. Where's the timetable? Okay, let me show you the time. The test run time.
Over here. Maximum.
Okay, so today you will pick your group number as well as your test run time. Okay, test run time is according to the number that you pick today. Okay, so A1, yeah, A1 will start earliest. So don't pick A1 if you don't know. But you don't know. Okay. Okay, and just to be secure today, okay, you won't see numbers on this. You'll see a QR code. Okay, this is a coded A1, E1, E2, E3 coded. Okay, QR coded. So if you know how to read like A1 QR code, then you might be able to choose. But you have to close your eyes when you're picking up the board. Okay, anything else? Any other question? Okay, I think yeah, we are on time. It's 12 o'clock. I think you can start with the balloting.
Dah record. Tak ada.
Okay, they will read the number. Yeah, Sudirman will echo. Repeat. So we will begin with the balloting. I'd like to pass the floor to Imran to handle the balloting session.
Okay.
Boleh.
Yeah. Okay. Tengok sikit.
Okay. Fine. Okay, we will call question. Question? Yeah. Okay.
After we get the time allocation for the test, after the test, we will take it, so we will get that is enough for
You don't. The only time that you can test on the field is during these 15 minutes. You can go out at the competition venue. Okay, we have prepared the ramp, the sand dunes, and the tassok for you to try. But outside, but not the complete field. So basically parts where you can try, like outside. Okay. Okay, we'll call one by one. Okay, I will call the manager's name, and then you can send your student or you can yourself come and do the balloting. Okay, the first team to pick is MMU Malacca. Oh, not manager's name, sorry. Okay, we scan your. B3. Yeah, MMU.
B3.
B3. Okay, next is UPM, Ultra A. The next is UTM. Stand by.
B4.
B4.
UPM kan?
Yeah. UPM. UTM. Next is 30 troops.
E4.
E4. Okay, group E to avoid. Thirty troops.
F1.
Okay. Next is UMP board. UMP board tak ada. Tak ada, kita akan cabutkan
Semua wakil PAP.
UMP ke UMP?
UMP board. UMP board ada.
Robocon number 00?
007. UMP board tak ada. Okay, cabutkan.
Untuk
Oh, benar. Kami tak ada.
Ini macam cabutan loteri.
Next is JTM Lions. JTM Lions. Tak ada juga.
Robocon number
008.
A1.
UMP board A1.
Wan, kacau dalam, kacau.
UMP board A1. Ini JTM Lions.
F2.
008 ILP Mersing.
Okay ni.
Finishing.
Next is USMA. After that, UITM Bravo. Ada UITM Bravo. Ada. USMA.
Okay. D1. D donkey.
Next is UITM Bravo. After this, UTP. UITM Bravo. Shah Alam.
C1.
C1. Ni UITM Shah Alam.
Shah Alam. Penang.
The next is UTP Petrobot.
G3. UTP.
Next is IIM Roboteam. After this, Cybertron.
C3.
Roboteam. IIM Roboteam. Cybertron.
E3.
E3. E3. MMU. Cyber. Next is Utah. Utah kosong.
D3.
D3. Next, 469. Polytechnic Ungku Umar. Poly Ungku Umar.
H3.
H3. Next is UTHM. UTHM. Ada wakil. One more time. UTHM. After this, COCOS. COCOS set.
H5.
H. UTHM. COCOS. Tak ada juga. College Committee Segamat. Tak ada.
H1.
H1. Next is EdTech SA Roboteam. EdTech. After this, Star College. Star UC Robotics B2.
D2.
EdTech SA B2. Star UC.
E1.
E1. Star UC. Next is Robocon Unit 10. Unit 10.
C4.
C4. Next is Asia Pacific University, AP Warriors.
A2.
AP Warriors A2. Next is GMI Gbot. GMI Gbot. No. Tak ada. After this UMT ada. UMT. Ada.
G4.
G4. Gbot G4.
GMI.
Gbot dan GMI. Robocon UMT.
B2.
Next is UPNM Robust.
D4.
D4. Okay. Next is Kogas. Pusat Latihan Teknologi Tinggi. Kulim. Tak ada, okay. Kogas tak ada. After this is UKM.
G1.
Kogas. Kogas. UKM.
H4.
H4. Next is Unimap. Unimap. Unimap, okay? Jauh.
A4.
Uniza RoboPro. After this UM.
F4.
UM Red 001. Universiti Melaya. Ada, okay. UM tak ada. Next is PMJ Makers. Polytechnic Mersing.
B1.
UM.
B1.
Okay, UM B1. Next is Polytechnic Mersing. Ada juga. After this is IUKL.
E2.
IUKL. Next is UMS.
H2.
H2. IUCL. H2. UMS. Dari UMS datang.
Okay. G2.
Next is UTM Pulau Pinang. UITM Pulau Pinang. UITM Pulau Pinang. After this is Polytechnic Port Dickson, Robotech.
F3.
UTM Pulau Pinang.
C2.
Polytechnic Port Dickson, C2. Next, University Technical Malaysia Melaka, UTM. UTM. UTM, no? Okay. And the last one is UPSI. UPSI, tak boleh sebut.
G5.
G5. And UPSI is A3. UPSI. Okay, so that's our groupings for Robocon Malaysia 2019. Okay, and we will send you the time, the schedule for the test run. Okay, after this test run. So yeah, you know approximately the time, okay, for your test run. Okay, A1 would start at 8:30 in the morning, and then 15 minutes every group. Okay.
Okay, I think that's all for today. So you can see the timetable for the test run on the 4th of April. Is there any final Q&A before we?
Any question?
Any question? Yes. Okay.
So is it the first session yang last December tu? Sebab I tengok macam kopi area dark yellow tu yellowish compared to dia punya layout, jadi macam clean brown sikit.
Kopi area.
Kopi area.
Ni bukan kan? Kopi area ni RGB.
Kat dalam group.
Yeah, Gobi area is slightly darker compared to dark yellow, and sand dune is brighter. Oh, pink. Okay, the pin right that we will use for the fill. Okay, we'll follow this RGB value, but the brand of the pin, okay, initially we plan to mix Nippon and Jotun, but there's issue with the supply for the Jotun, so we will use all Nippon pins. But the RGB color will match with the one inside the spec. Brand.
Dark yellow. Okay. For dark yellow, right? For dark yellow, we use a Nippon paint. Code number is 1161T. That's for dark yellow.
For sand, for the no, for the for the Gobi area. For the sand dune. Yeah. That,
Yellow is Nippon paint as well. 1126T.
okay. So for the sand dune, it will be brighter yellow, 11260, and for the Gobi area, the floor is dark yellow, 1161T. Nippon, all Nippon paint.
Confirmation on the light. White or white?
Sorry?
The light.
The lighting,
Are they one white or white?
it's white. The lighting is white. Yeah, the lighting will be similar to last year. It will be like white. It's all lighting.
This one is a bit yellowish, right? It's pure white.
Yeah, this one is yellowish. Kan cikgu Bi, lighting dekat unit 10. Is it like pure white? White? Is it white or yellowish?
Because this color is a little bit white.
It's white. Yeah, it's white. It's bright. Yeah.
So one white.
No.
It's
It's
not,
one.
it's like
It's white. It's white. Not one white. Not one white. Okay.
Okay. I think that's all for today. Thank you very much for coming. We have some lunch provided, right?
Oh, makan kat belakang.
We got lunch at the back, so you can have lunch before we dismiss. Right. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.